Welcome, kayak anglers. You are tuning into the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network, kayak fishing's best network of shows with great hosts covering all things kayak fishing, bringing you special guests covering topics such as shore fishing, river trips, gear reviews, angler profiles, tournament news, and more. Sit back, relax. Let's do this.
You're watching Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Network, dedicated to gathering and providing wisdom, knowledge, plus spin a few stories from time spent on the water. Saltwater fishing, updates by the raddest baddest dude on the Gulf Coast. Now let's join the one and only devil dog himself, Dustin Nichols.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Chasing the Tide live. We got a live stream. We're going to recap the Panama City stop of the Florida Redfish series that just was this past weekend. I have George Quinn and Brian Neal, your top two finishers of the event, with me tonight. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. We're hanging out in the garage, man.
I know y'all teamed up. And, George, you went over to Brian's and y'all got it lined up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there you go. We got some viewers on already. Marcus Raymond Fish Sticks here. Scott Parrish, what's up, man? He's in the house. David Dodson, Big Benders. Yep. Y'all are part of that team. Y'all got a nice little group there. A lot of support for each other. Y'all help each other out, and stay, and y'all hang out like the couple nights before. Y'all cook all kind of stuff and do all that good stuff.
We do it all. We usually get a campsite or an Airbnb and just hang out, and it's good camaraderie with a bunch of people that like to do what you like to do. So
yep, like-minded people. Y'all out there sharing the love for the water, and we love these fish. Redfish, speckled trout, flounder, snook, all of them. Man, it's just it's a great thing, and especially with the tournaments like the Florida Redfish series, it's conservation minded, the CPR events and stuff like that. Where, you're just getting a quick pick with the fish and letting them go, helps the resource stay what it is, it's, because there's a lot of pressure. I know, just like Texas, Florida, there's a lot of pressure on the water over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's getting better. It seems, I don't know if we're just getting better at fishing or if the fish are starting to cooperate better, but it seems like this year specifically is a little bit better than it was in previous years. So
that's good. I know there were some. How long is the regulations in Florida? What is it? One slot redfishes that you can keep?
It depends on regions.
There's regions to it. Okay.
Yeah. So I know down in Southwest Florida, you can only keep one redfish, has to be in slot. And sometimes they shut it down because we have a phenomenon. It's called red tide here. Yep. I'm sure you guys experience something similar.
Oh, yeah.
Over where you're from. But every once in a while when there's a big fish kill, whether it be, of natural causes or runoff water, that kind of thing, they'll shut it down temporarily. But for the most part, on the other coast, I know it's 2. Over here, it's 1, but we get an exception because of the tournament series that we're in. So,
dang, right on. So, all right, Brian and GQ, right? Got your name on there. Man, does all the big benders have them pimp mustaches?
It's
only the winners.
Only the winners.
I might have to grow mine back, coming over to Jacksonville. I got to make a long haul. I saw somebody commented, I think that was Brian, talking about keeping that trophy, making it go west on I-10. I said, I'm west. That counts for me too. Maybe I'm going to get one myself.
Amen.
We'll see, man. It's my sister, I grew up in that area, Southeast Georgia, Northeast Florida, and it's going to be a fun event, big moon, big tides,
a lot more
smaller
cloudier
boundaries.
water.
What was that?
Cloudier water, a lot dirtier.
Yeah, a lot dirtier water. Yeah, yep. A little something with a vibration, a little Z-Man bullseyes. do
Yeah,
some wonders on mud flat over
actually
there.
gonna go out this weekend, local to where we live in the Big Bend area.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test out some lures that I don't usually throw. I never throw a spoon. I never throw a chatterbait. I never throw a spinnerbait. Nothing like that. But I know vibration is probably going to be key, especially with how fast the water's moving and how cloudy it is and that kind of thing. So
Yep.
I'm gonna switch it up and see if I can't get more familiar with these techniques that are not natural to our area.
Yeah, I mean, a spoon is especially over here on the flats, is money. In the potholes. I mean, I burn those just about as fast as I can reel them sometimes, and then redfish, they'll just launch out of the dang potholes and just
It's
about rip
crazy.
the rod out
I've
your
heard,
hand, you know.
I've heard that my whole life, but I've never committed to that technique. I always have one tied on somewhere, or I have one in the tackle box, and it sits there and it rusts away after a couple of years. I tell you what, I never commit to it, but I'm gonna give myself a weekend while I have not
Yep.
much going on and try to figure it out, man. This is a technique that I'm excited about. So
Yeah, it's always good to have those techniques in your back pocket, especially fishing, dirtier water. I know if there's some wind and there's current, and then 2 or 3 foot deep with some shell, that old popping cork in a gulp is going to be tough to beat.
yeah.
when you get in a bind and you need a fish to fill your limit or something, wind blown points, little drains, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to throw those kinds of things. Sending baits like gulp
Yeah.
over there. I remember last season when we fished Jacksonville and even St. Augustine. I fished the same area that I did for Jacksonville because they overlapped.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Trash
just
fish.
so many pinfish and catfish and things, just puffer fish just nipping on your baits. It was almost impossible to get one cast in on one bait. So got to shake it up. Maybe throw something like a Z-Man, something that's a little less resistant to those kinds of nipping baits or nipping fish. And we'll see
That
what
little
happens.
prawn star is pretty cool.
It
That
is.
thing's nice, man. Those
been
big
doing pretty
ballers
good
too,
on-
man.
I've been doing pretty good on the savage shrimp. That's been my go-to.
Yeah, the Savage Gear, a little smaller profile one as well. Yeah.
A little harder to nip that tail on there too. So
Yeah, it has that like fiber. It's like
mhm.
they're not going to bite it off. It's like some kind of whatever kind of material in there.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like Kevlar or something. I don't know, but it's pretty dang tough. The Z-Man one's pretty tough too, and it's got a nice little kicking action as well. So yeah, I like that some of their new stuff they've come out with is pretty dang cool. Got some good stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how many people show up for this event. Being that it is a Hobie Saltwater Series qualifier as well, the second one of the year. I think that might draw a few more people. Possibly.
Kayak's pretty big in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah,
I think it's going to be around 50 people. I think around 50 kayaks at least.
Probably push it. I'm hoping it pushes more.
Yeah,
we'll see. There's some good stuff around there. It's just a matter of just getting the right spot, finding the right fish. Frontal if it's pre-frontal, post-frontal, whatever happens. March is a weird month.
That's going to be the key. Is no rain showers, no thunderstorms coming that time of the year.
Yeah, hope not. Hopefully we won't have a whole lot of wind, because then the extra wind with the current, especially with the big tides, you'll get it stacked up in some of them bigger, passes you might have to launch from to get back into some of those creeks and stuff. And I don't know, man, it's just so much. There's a lot more water over there to deal with. I'm used to, a foot, 1 or maybe 2 foot at the most sometimes, and tide swings over here. But it's dang, it just makes you have to work that much harder. Oh, we got Miss Pam jumping in too. All right, there
Technical
she is.
difficulties.
There you go. Flip that phone sideways for me, please, and it'll come around. Hopefully you
Like
can.
that? Oh, I'm upside down.
Oh, it
I'm
should.
still
You don't
upside
have it
down.
on auto rotate. Yeah, it's okay. We're live right now, so yeah, just stay how you are right there. It's all good. Pam Wirth joined us too. She finished 3rd in the event, so we got the 1st through 3rd place finishers here tonight from the Panama City Beach. We were just kind of basically just talking all kinds of stuff there at the beginning.
Awesome.
I like to see what's going on with everybody. and everything. So yeah, Pam Wirth here with us as well. Have a lot of people commenting on the page. If y'all have any questions or anything for anybody that's on with us tonight, let us know. I'll try to put them up. Scott Paris says, hello, Pam. And then we'll just get right down and dirty right here. We'll start talking a little bit about your recap of the event there. George, you get a chance to get over a pre-fish, or you have some history over there that you relied on? What went on with that?
We did have some history until Chris changed the boundaries on us.
Yeah, there you go.
And,
threw a wrench in that one, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
but that's what makes a better tournament. Is switching it up and making you get out of your comfort zone. And we usually fish Port St. Joe and get in that far south and Apalachicola Bay. That's our area, so try to get down there. But he changed it up, so I didn't get to go pre-fishing, and I knew probably we were going to get a cold front or something, so there was no point of going while we had 70-degree weather.
Right, because it was going to throw a wrench, and it's going to be totally different conditions,
So tried to save it.
I'm sorry.
Tried to save it before the tournament, and we got out there a couple days before the tournament and got some pre-fishing in.
Yeah. Pam, you gonna chime in? What all you get a chance to get over there pre-fish any?
I didn't pre-fish ahead of time. I got like a day and a half, maybe 2 days of pre-fishing. And Garrett Bunkin was really sweet. He let me kind of tag around and fish with him. Although I did show him my spot. It was cold as crap.
Oh yeah.
It was like 30 degrees. When I went out on tournament day, 2 guys were coming back in as I was leaving because I knew there was no rush. I knew I didn't have enough water. So I didn't even launch till probably 15 minutes after everybody else. 2 guys turned around and came back in and said that their power pole wouldn't hold. And when I went out, I had white caps over the front of the kayak. And when I made a turn, then I had the white caps come over the side of the boat. I felt like I was offshore. I'm like, where's the sailfish?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some bigger water over there if you launch out, some of the creeks and come out into some of the bigger bay systems over there. I know West Bay has a lot of open water. That could get pretty rough. It depends on what side of and there's not I don't know how much access. From what I was looking at, there's not a whole lot anyways over there on that side. I know there's some stuff on the North Bay. You can get some exposed water over there, and you think, oh man, this is not going to be big, but you'll have 2 foot, 1 foot rollers, 2 foot rollers sometimes at some of that stuff over there. So you say you're taking some stuff over the bow and on the side is white cap and just pretty strong winds. I thought the winds were supposed to be pretty manageable that day, or did it die as the day went on?
But yeah. What do you guys think? Like about 2.5, maybe 3 hours into it, the wind really calmed down a lot.
Oh yeah. It switched from what was it, a north wind to a south.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Flip back around. Yeah.
It laid down and the no-see-ums came and it was a fun time.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Brian, you had some good stuff going on. You get a chance to get over. I know you went over and fished one of the Panama City kayak, like their little group tournament, like the week or 2 weekends before, right?
Yeah, it was a bit of randomness at the boat ramp. I showed up. I knew that tournament was happening, and I ended up pre-fishing with one of our other team members, Davis Dodson.
Okay.
And he called me and he's like, hey, there's tournaments going on. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Whatever. I kind of wanted to focus on pre-fishing because I couldn't pre-fish other than 2 weeks out of the event.
Yeah.
And we showed up to the boat ramp and apparently they were having a shotgun launch at that boat ramp specifically. So
yeah,
we looked at each other and I at first I said no. I was like, no, I want to focus on pre-fishing. I have all day today. Let me just take my time because the weigh-in for the local tournament, you had to be back at the boat ramp at 1:00.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So that was the rule. And then eventually I unloaded my kayak. I got all my stuff ready and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it, man. If I have a good day, it's only a $20 buy-in.
Yeah.
If I have a good day, I can head back. If not, then I'm just going to stay out there and focus on FRS.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I found a spot that was pretty productive. and did pretty well and ended up winning that little tournament. And then a couple weeks later had FRS, and I was like, you know what? That's the only place I know in Panama City within the boundaries, because I've never fished Panama City
Yeah.
other than that time. And I was like, you know what? Let me just take a hero's journey and do something that nobody else is going to do. So my spot on the negative low tide that we had, you had to drag over probably 100 to 200 yards of mud in the
Ooh.
freezing cold water. So I took
to get out to where you were at. Yeah.
Oh yeah, to get into where I was going to go to.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So I packed as light as I possibly could. I knew the boots were going to come off because the mud was so terrible. So I was battling hypothermia at the same time, but you know,
Dang.
it's one of those things that if you got in there first, those fish are so spooky in the spot that I was at, that once you catch one, they're going to shut down completely.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you know, as soon as I got in there around 6:25, 6:30 ish on my third cast, I got a perfect 27, and then the rest was just me going up and down these certain little canals and creek systems that I was in, and it was just it was a good turnout, man. I'm glad I made that decision. So
yeah, that's a good deal. Just kind of walked into that one there with that local tournament, found some fish, found what you like. You just went with what you knew. You know, since the boundaries had shrank and kind of took out of play what you had already been familiar with over there. Yeah, I could see that. I'd have probably done the same thing. Yep. Oh yeah. One thing I was working that day, and I did notice some shuffling around on the leaderboard quite a bit from fish like that were. Yeah, Pam, you had a deduction on one of yours, and what was that for? Do you know what was that for? Was that for the slider?
Yep. I got my first fish was my third cast, and it was a perfect 27. Sorry. So I luckily got in right before you squeaked in with your 27. My second fish was a 26.25. And with the waves the way they were, because it was still blowing then, we have our tags on the measuring board, and it slid slightly. Not that much. It slid slightly. So they took 2 inches off.
Yeah, 2-inch deduction.
And I still got third. So you know how big those fish were.
And that's the thing about those catch ID holders. Those actually can become loose over time and just move freely. They're not super, you know, they get warped or they get heat and they warp. So I take
mine down.
Yeah,
I'm in Jacksonville right now, pre-fishing. Yeah. I know I look like crap, but I use electrical tape, and mine is not going to move.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's tricks to it, but I'm just like, man,
it was heartbreaking.
As long as that tail is in that slider, I don't care if it's at 25 or 24 or 26. As long as that tail's centered in that slider, I'd be good. But
yeah, but the
rules are rules. I mean, that's
exactly
what it is.
Rules are rules, and it's like
move so much. It's just like, man, really, that's another thing I got to worry about on the water.
I made a permanent marker. I took a permanent marker and marked mine. So if I see those lines and they're not in the area, I know that I need to move my slider.
Oh yeah, that's what I got. Same thing. It's just another thing you have to. This angler responsibility on the water, and as you can see, it costs you 2 inches right there for it sliding, which is,
But it's my responsibility. I take 100%, responsible for it. It's on me. But after thinking, yay, I've got it, and it wasn't until close to 3:00 that I realized I didn't have it, because I caught 3 more fish after that. Yeah. And if I had known, I would put them on the board and taken pictures. They were right about the same size. So I didn't even, I'm like, oh, I already have one. Why do I need another? Yeah. So I was kicking myself. I'm like, oh, lesson learned. Take a picture of every single freaking fish you get.
Oh, yeah. And then double check before the submission time is over. So you know what you got.
And as you can see, Granny here wears glasses. I do have a grandson. And, by that time you had water spray. I'm not making excuses. I know I am. I'm a nana. I'm probably the age of y'all's mothers. But you know, it's on me. It's totally on me.
Oh, I'm up there. Not too crazy, but I'm up there though.
It happens. It happens frequently, but that's the cool thing about these events. You know, you win some,
Yep.
you lose
Oh
some.
yeah.
It happens. Like it happened to a couple different anglers, including myself, during this
Hmm.
Panama City event. But it's one of those things that makes the competition,
Right.
you know, the heat of the moment. I stopped fishing for like 3 hours because I thought I had it in the morning,
Yeah.
and I was just trying to warm up. And I tell you what, when I saw the leaderboard update a couple of times, and I need to stop getting the habit of looking at the leaderboard in general. But once I saw that, it lit a fire underneath me.
Oh yeah.
And I fished hard for the next, you know, 3 or 4 hours, and unfortunately I came up short. But it's one of those things that's like it makes these tournaments worth going to because of the competition. That's what I live for, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
if
Yeah,
fishing in general is what I love to do. So it's a beautiful thing, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
and the
it's
camaraderie
interesting.
and everybody, you know, everybody's, you know, just like we're talking about, we're like-minded. Most, you know, most of us are conservation minded as well and appreciate the fishery. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I'm paranoid. I don't look at the leaderboard. When I won Fallen Tide in Louisiana to go to Hobie World, I never looked at the leaderboard. One of the guys came up, Joe Kamadi, and said, "Oh my God, you're in the lead." It makes me nervous. It upsets my stomach. I cannot look at the leaderboard. The only time I look at it is when I upload a fish, and then I go on.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
how
it's
about you guys? How often do you check the leaderboard?
I don't check it at all because I'm
All right.
scared someone's gonna message me and I'm gonna look at it or something. And so I just fish my tournament in my head all day and
yeah.
wait until, 2 o'clock.
And then check everything, make sure it's submitted correct. Because sometimes you don't have a great signal on the water anyways.
Exactly.
So it's tough.
Most people do that, but I'm the complete opposite. As soon as I caught that first one, I uploaded it and it got
Mhm.
submitted as a perfect red, and people started messaging me, and I was just like, every 15 minutes I was on there. I kept seeing it fluctuate
Yeah.
between, like, you know, fish that were DQ'd and fish that were not submitted right, and whatever the case was, it was an amazing tournament, and there was a lot of huge redfish caught in the slot
Yeah.
ring.
All,
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I'm proud of
what?
everybody. So because it
Yeah,
was a tough
20
day.
out of 30 some kayaks, what, 22, 25 people registered fish. So that was really, in considering those conditions,
Yeah.
that was an amazing tournament. You know, pat on the back to every single person that went out and fished that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that area over there. It's pretty neat. There's
And
all kinds of different options, you know.
there's some heavy hitters there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even so I saw some local guys sign up as well. And
You got Benton Parrott,
yep.
Brandon.
Brandon Barton. Yep.
Trent,
That's
Trent
their
Stige. Yep.
The guy from Canada, I met him on the water. I
Oh,
didn't want to
cool.
be I didn't want to be rude. I heard an accent when he was talking to me, and I was like, I didn't say anything at first, and then out of nowhere, he's like, "I'm from Canada, by the way." And I was like,
You bring some bacon.
mind blown. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you kidding me right now? You
Yeah.
drove
He's
down
got
here
the
for this?"
mileage beat. Is he coming to Jacksonville too?
He's not. He goes down there on vacation, and it happens to line up
Oh,
on the event date.
yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
he loves the redfish. He's a local guide over there in Canada. I guess he's
Yeah.
not local here, but local up there. And he does outdoor events and all kinds of stuff. He's a really really cool guy, and I really enjoyed his
Yeah,
presence.
he did well for the tournament.
Oh yeah,
He was in a paddle kayak.
I think he ended up in fifth.
Dang.
Yeah,
I should have got him on. I didn't realize it was
was he second last year?
in Canada.
I think so. I think he ended up in second last year. He was talking something about that. So
He had an issue with with weigh-in or something.
mhm.
I don't know exactly what went on, but
Oh yeah, we have some kick-ass kayakers. We don't make it easy, and we'll push you to your best limits. Yep, Kelly. Yes, ma'am. Oh yeah. Y'all run a hell of a trail. I'll give you that.
It's fun.
Just need
I'll
to
tell
come
you
off them
guys,
motors. Come off them motors. Damn it.
I know. At my age, a motor is a big asset.
Yes,
'Cause
I'm in my pushing
okay,
mid
first of
50s,
all,
and yeah.
I'm like the only, come on, you guys. I'm like the only lady angler. And I swear to you, I say this prayer every time before I launch. Please, God, don't let me be the only lady that does not catch a fish. Because I'm so freaked out about that. Like, girl. When I started fishing, it's like, girls can't fish. But so that is like my little prayer. Please, God, let me at least catch a fish.
Come on,
There's a
Phil.
lot
I'm
of
going
boat-
to I'm
there's a
going through the
lot of
Jacksonville
boats.
one.
There's a lot
Phil,
of boats out there for sale if you want to buy one.
nah, I'm an angler, not a paddler.
Hey,
There you go. There you go. But
I know.
Jacksonville has been on fire, you guys. I'm just telling you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
came up here to visit my bestie, Linnea, and I fished today, and it was off the hook. It's going to be so much fun when we hit Jacksonville.
Where'd you fish at?
You
In
fish
the water.
flatboard
In the water.
in the water. You fish the Trout River, Rebault River. Yeah, you fish Rebault.
Hey, I told a friend of mine, I gave him my husband, long story short, my husband had to went to ER during the Jacksonville tournament last year. So I had to pull out of it. And I
Right.
gave a couple of my friends some of my spots. Well, then they fished it for the elite and they freaking beat me. I was like,
mm-mm.
Yeah, we'll see if Pat gets should have some East Coast stops popping up.
I hope so.
I think he is going to. Yeah, it's going to be fun this year trying to juggle all of these Hobie qualifiers and then all the elite events and then a few bass tournaments here and there. It's always fun. The vacation time gets burned off, and then the wife's like, "Well, can you take these days off to go to somewhere?" She's talking about a New York trip or something. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. No, it is what it is. All three of y'all will make the Jack's event stop, I imagine. Because I don't think for Angler of the Year, you got to have every event. They don't have a drop or anything, do they?
No.
Okay.
No, I think they correct me if I'm wrong, Pam, but I think you have to attend at least two tournaments.
Yeah.
And then
To make the championship.
Right, to make the
To
championship.
make the championship and be in the top 50.
You're right.
Okay, so yeah, but I know I have no chance at Angler in the Year because I know the St. Augustine one, I'm fishing an elite. And it's and last
That's
year
May
it was my
31st.
dream.
That's the lake. That's the Boomtown Casino one in south
I
of New Orleans.
don't know. I've never fished it. I'm super, super stoked about it. Fishing water, that is so exciting. To fish water you've never fished before.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For me, that's super exciting.
That's some juice over there too. There's some good stuff over there south. Yeah, be good. Be a good one.
I'll have to talk to you then.
Yep, I'm fishing that one by myself. My teammates got some conflict, so I'll be fishing that one alone.
How can you bring in 2 fish?
You can bring in 2 fish because there's the legal limit's 5.
Oh, it's right. It's Louisiana. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm slow. I told you I'm an old person.
It's all good. It's all good. So
get my walker out.
George, what'd you win the tournament on? What bait were you throwing?
Oh man, that's a hard bait.
A Ned rig, Z-Man,
We all
like
know
a
what
flat
it is.
worm or something.
You know, I threw the Ned rig all morning because I knew there was fish there and I knew they were schooled up, but I knew that they have had some pressure and people have been on them.
Yeah.
So I threw that Ned rig, and I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I ever threw a Ned rig for redfish, and it wasn't doing nothing.
They
Catching
didn't
a little
want
baby trout.
Yeah.
The only thing I was catching. But I finally, pulled my drive out of my kayak and got shallow as I could get and started bumping schools.
Yeah.
And then I would slow down a little bit. And I was right about that 11 o'clock hour. And the wind died down and I knew I could see the fish. So I started throwing savage shrimp
Yeah.
and got into some schools with the shrimp and pulled out my best fish of the day was around 12 o'clock. And he was perfect 27. I probably took 30 pictures of him just to make sure. And then caught an 18-inch. And then after that, I couldn't find the school. So I moved around a little bit. And then finally the last 20 minutes, after zigzagging that bay and probably covered more ground than I've covered all day.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes, I caught my second fish.
And what was it? A 26 and a quarter?
The better pitcher 26 and a quarter, 26 and a half. I think it was around there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a couple, and you know what? I could see the boat ramp from there.
Oh man.
Yeah. After zigzagging that bay and hiding from the wind all day.
Yeah.
You remember what I said last time? The beautiful thing about red fishing and fishing in the ocean in general,
Mm-hmm.
you can catch your redfish right off the boat ramp
Uh-huh.
or 5 miles
5
away.
miles away.
It's up to you to find that hero's journey right there.
Well, yeah, Brian's a repeat offender on this live stream we've been doing. He took the last one, so he is second at this one. He's probably looking pretty good in points right now. George, what were you on Steenhatchee?
I got third in Steenhatchee.
Third. Oh, so it's tight. It's tight.
We're 1 point away from first and second.
Yeah, right after we hang up, we're actually going to fist it out and see.
Fisticuffs. Oh man. All right. I don't know. I got 20 on mustache. Oh wait, both of y'all got mustache.
Yeah. We're battling it out for first and second going into Jacksonville. You know.
You guys go for it.
That's going to be the deciding factor right there. Where's everybody staying in Jacksonville?
We're staying at the zoo.
The where?
The zoo.
The zoo.
The zoo. We're staying over by the Jacksonville Zoo.
Oh, y'all staying over there off Hampshire Drive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know where you guys are
RV park
fishing.
over there, I guess.
I know where you guys are fishing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you guys are fishing if you're staying by the zoo.
We know where you're fishing too.
I know where y'all are. Yeah. Y'all are fishing the Trout River. Y'all fishing Mill Cove. There's some big trout in there.
No launch at the bridge and just fish.
You launch it. I'm gonna just drop in off Dames Point right there and go. Yeah, I'll be up in. I'm off. My sister lives off exit 26 in Georgia, so it's nice to get to go somewhere and sleep in a nice bed and not have to, stay in an RV or stay in a hotel.
So I got a question. I got a question for y'all, real quick. So the boundary, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I looked at this a couple weeks ago. I think it expands into Georgia, correct?
Yeah, it goes up to the East River in Kingsland.
Okay, so if you fish into Georgia, do you need a Georgia fishing license as well?
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
I would assume I used to be a game warden back in the day for Florida, so I would assume you would need that for a tournament standard.
Yeah.
To go.
As Chris says, he's randomly checking. I know on Hobie events when you register the day of to get your token, because they give you your token like the day of. They check your license right then and there as you walk through, and you're basically DQ'd or they give you an opportunity to get your license updated.
I usually try to do it ahead of the trip and schedule it. With everything online now, you can just punch in the dates and buy it, and then it's on your phone.
Yeah,
pretty much the easiest way to do. I know, FWC, or I think that's the one. There's some site I can't remember. I've bought plenty of them in Florida, back and forth and all that. Man, I really want to make that Panacea event again, but that one, I don't know. The Elite threw a wrench and added that other event in Slidell in June. So he's throwing some wrenches,
Panacea on water.
Mm-hmm. That time, April too. That's April.
Yeah, that's all home waters for us. So
yeah, that's good stuff over there.
Yeah.
I love that area.
Well, you guys kind of have three. Panama City is what, an hour and a half drive from you?
Yeah, I've only fished Panama City one time. And
then Steinhatchee's another hour and a half drive from you at the most?
Yeah, we fished.
From Tampa, Panama City's like 7 hours.
Oh yeah, that's a haul.
Jacksonville's 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
So y'all live close by, George and Brian? How close are y'all?
I'm from Tampa.
I know. Yeah, Pam.
We live in Tallahassee, so
y'all are in Tallahassee. Okay.
Yeah, so I live about 10-15 minutes from Brian.
Okay, there you go. So y'all are just a short hop down to St. Mark's and.
Well, no,
it takes me an hour.
We live on the north side of Tallahassee.
You're like close to Thomasville, then, huh?
I live in Havana Florida. So
Oh, okay. I know
it's
where that's
north,
at.
yeah. So it takes me about an hour to get to the St. Mark's Lighthouse, and then it gets once you start branching out from there, it's just
Yeah.
like, oh goodness.
Go eat. Go
Yeah.
eat.
And it's all like slower speed limits. Like our highways over here in Texas, dude, like them roads that you're running around in Panacea, it's 70 and 75 over here. It's like, boom, gone. And over there, you're like 55, 60.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, like half of that trip for you probably just once you get in through the gate at St. Mark's to get, because it's like what 30 the whole way for 15 miles or something. It's a good little, it's a good little haul to get down there.
It's 11, 12 miles from the gate to the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good little haul. I like that area though. I've caught some good fish over there over the years. We usually go on a trip. We went on some media stuff for Jackson over there. Fished actually out of Shell Island Fish Camp. Fished that, upstream there and caught a lot of bass and everything. Then we go to the lighthouse and fished out of Wakula and then fished some of the spring-fed rivers, catch Swanee bass. That's a real neat area over there.
Oh yeah.
That's Wakulla, not Wakula.
Or however you say it. I'm an old redneck from Southeast Georgia.
All right.
Once you launch from the lighthouse and you head east, the furthest structure is 70 miles, 75 miles from there.
Right.
That's all refuge. So
yeah. It's killer over there. I called it. It's the Forgotten Coast. That's what it is. I called it.
So is that where I should launch from? Because I don't know that area at all. I'm praying. I'm praying that he'll let it go down to Steinhatchee again. Because all those roads are like dirt roads, and my phone doesn't work in that area.
You called me 2 weeks before the tournament, and I can answer a couple questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Seriously, it freaks me out there. Just because I don't know. Do I go straight? Do I turn?
You better watch your speed limit around here.
Amen.
Yes, definitely.
That's my problem. Oh my gosh. Last year coming home from Panacea, I kid you not, I'm going down the middle, or no, it was Panama City. I'm going down the middle of the road. It's like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it's a 2-lane highway, and I'm going down the middle of the road, and I'd already counted 20 deer. Okay. All of a sudden, lights. And I pull over and he goes, are you okay? And I said, yes. He goes, you were driving erratically. I said, erratically? I said, I was driving straight down the middle of the road. He started laughing. He goes, yeah, that's erratically. I said, did you see how many deer are there? I go, I don't want to get hit by a deer. I want some time here to be able to stop.
Yeah.
Because me and Sporty in the trailer may or may not drive around 80 miles an hour.
Hey, the things we do for redfish, huh?
Oh yeah. It was
He let me
Panacea.
go.
You told me this
Let me
story.
go.
James said that. It was Panacea. Marcus said, dodge the mud holes. Oh, I can attest to that.
We also got bears up here
And
too.
turkeys. Turkeys, yeah.
Turkeys and buzzards on the side of the road and all kind of alligators crossing the street and bullfrogs hopping out in front of you, all kind of stuff. Florida. I love Florida. Man, yeah.
I bet nobody's ever been hit with a turkey before.
I know, that was funny.
There's some good grub over there too, and around Panacea. Some of them little seafood houses and that little Mexican joint over there, and then that barbecue joint, and
that's where all the oysters came from, Apalachicola Bay.
Apalachicola.
It's changed a little bit now. They're more farm raised, and there's still some really good oysters over there because all the springs and stuff.
Yep, gets that right water, that right.
So what are you guys throwing in Jacksonville?
What was
What's
that?
that?
What are y'all thinking about throwing in Jacksonville?
I'm thinking about throwing probably about a 14-inch popper.
Yeah.
Nah. Same pattern. It's going to be a little difficult with the tidal changes that are going to happen. That's what I need to fish. I don't need to focus on the elements because it's going to be windy or rainy. I don't really care. Above the water, I don't care.
Yep.
What's happening in the water, temperature, and tidal changes, that's going to be key to placing in this tournament. So,
I think people on the West Coast, that's the hardest problem, is getting used to like a 6-foot tidal change.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
pulling live
going to
shrimp.
be.
I don't know about y'all, just like Marcus.
I told somebody it's like fishing on Mars.
Yeah, it's gonna be the craziest thing. And the last year when I fished Jacksonville, I fished the same place that I fished in Jacksonville and St. Augustine. And because I'm so unfamiliar with the area,
Mhm.
I did pretty decent in both tournaments. I think I got like 8th and then 12th or something like that. But the thing is, you need to focus on what's happening. And I hope a lot of newer people are tuning in tonight, because
Yeah.
those 6-foot ties, it's nothing to play around with. You can launch somewhere. That doesn't mean you can recover from there. And vice
Exactly.
versa. So you need
Yeah.
to really pay attention to what's going on in the terrain around you, because you can get into some serious trouble. I think a couple of anglers, I went to the Jacksonville weigh-in because one of our teammates, David Stodson, did pretty well
Mhm.
last year. And I remember that first and second place, or maybe just first place, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I remember one of the placers was not even at the weigh-in because he was
Oh.
stuck in the mud.
Really? See, our tournaments here, if you don't make the weigh-in, you're disqualified. There's a
Yeah,
cutoff.
so
That's
it's
crazy.
it's just one of those things that you really, really have to pay attention to, because
Yeah.
it can get you in some serious trouble too.
Oh, you'll have 100 yards of mud in front of you.
And
Well,
you don't want to be stuck out in Jacksonville. Let me tell you, the
yeah.
no
And look
stems
what,
out in Jacksonville are the worst I've ever seen in my life. So be prepared with bug spray,
oh,
goo, or
Yeah.
whatever the bug spray is that you prefer.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you have that in your kayak, because it'll be a miserable experience if you do not.
Yeah, if the
no, it's
wind
not.
backs
It
off,
is
them
one.
those
No. It's not miserable. It's exciting. It is one of my favorite places to fish because it's so complex. There's just something going on all the time.
Mhm.
You just have to prepare for it. I mean, look what happened in Steinhatchee. Poor Joe turned around and got stuck waist deep in mud and had to get an airboat to pull him out. God bless him.
He didn't have 1,000 OCMs run around his face at the time. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, you
Yeah.
must be on some
They
good
were bad
fish
last
out there
weekend.
free fishing. You're pretty
Yes, you must.
excited.
It's going to change in 2 weeks. It's all good.
That was bad last weekend.
You think?
Yeah.
She's got her spot locked in.
No, I don't. I only got up here today, and I'll fish again tomorrow, and then I got to shoot back because I work at Tampa Fishing Outfitters Sunday through Wednesday. But no, it'll change. We've got fronts coming through, but at least I use the tides for y'all who are just getting into tournament fishing. Tides are about the same roughly every 2 weeks. So pre-fishing the weekend before sometimes really doesn't help you at all. Pre-fishing 2 weeks before is going to give you a better idea of what the tides are going to be. Obviously, if a front comes through and the weather changes, the fish patterns can change. But that's why I'm up here 2 weeks before the tournament, just to eliminate, to be honest, to eliminate water.
Yep.
That's a
Smart.
good point.
That's a good point. And it's a full moon there in the tournament too, I believe. Right?
Yeah,
Just-
it's gonna be-
It's one of the big favorite tides.
it's
So
gonna
it'll be even a
good
bigger
time.
swing. It's going to be even more current and a bigger swing.
Think heavier weights and more vibration, guys, if you're going to be out
Yep.
there. So
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So we're all going to bring out our bass baits, right?
I'm bringing up my grouper baits. What are you
Your
talking about?
chatterbaits.
I'll have one tied on
There you go.
for sure.
Chartreuse.
Would you catch your fish on in Panama City? A spoon? I saw you post a
Yes.
picture with a spoon. Yeah.
Yep. A spoon and a brand new rod by J&S.
S&J.
Also sponsored by Dyna. But they sent me a rod and I freaking love it. I love it. 100% of my fish in Panama were caught on that rod. And during tournament, 100% of my fish were caught on a spoon in different locations. Some of them were caught on a paddle tail that I made into, because Seville doesn't have that company anymore, a band of anglers, but I made them into like a dart spin.
Yes.
And that little bit of flick helps. Now, no live bait needed. Their lures, they always tell you, they have a jig head, but on their, what's it called? K-tail, the 4-inch K-tail uses an underspin by BKK.
Yeah.
And that's been effective. That's been very effective today. Hint, hint.
Yeah, their open jig heads are too big. But you can use like a 5/0 BKK underspin, and it's money on that K-tail. Yes.
It was, yeah. I used for the 4-inch. I used their 2/0, which I can't find anymore, and I'm in a tackle shop, one of the biggest in the Tampa Bay area. But it was money today. I probably caught 5 fish on it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, I
And
caught
Brian,
all
you
mine
were-
on Bull Bay. If Bull Bay was looking, Bull Bay rods, that's what I caught all mine on.
Excellent rod.
What do you throw, Brian?
Oh man.
You got a
Well,
assortment?
I'm sponsored by Florida Fisher Products, so I feel like I should give them a shout out. They gave me a couple reels for this season, and they're the most phenomenal reels I think I've ever. They're lightweight, drag is phenomenal.
They're a good product.
Yeah, that little
resistant,
Bahia
which
1000's a
is key.
workhorse, man.
Right. They're amazing reels, and but other than that, I'm a paddle tail guy.
Yeah.
So I grew up doing that in Southwest Florida, fishing for snook. So I just do what I know.
Yep.
I know everybody throws, spoons and spinner baits and bladed baits and all kinds of stuff, but that's what I'm trying to familiarize myself with before this tournament, because I know for a fact that that vibration is gonna play a key in this tournament. And
If there's anything I can do to help you, holler at me, okay?
absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna use everybody's knowledge to my experience, or to my advantage. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things I got to familiarize myself with and slow down, because I typically fish super fast and I'm focused and I cover a lot of water.
That's what I do.
So
I'm the same way. I just can't hunker down on one freaking creek
Winter-
mouth and just stay there.
See, my problem is I'm like Linnea here. I'm a topwater junkie, and the water is just a smidgen too cold for topwater.
yeah,
Yep.
and
It's killing me.
running around these different creeks and stuff is it's really difficult for me personally, because I don't know if it's ADHD or what's going on, but just staying in one creek and bottom fishing basically with a artificial plastic with some scent on it, it drives me absolutely insane. But I got very fortunate with the first few events of this season doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the warmer weather patterns, and the
I'm hoping we
fast
get a good
currents.
warm up. Yep.
It's gonna be popping off soon, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know everybody's looking forward to it. Gonna be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm not gonna make the St. Augustine, and I'm gonna try for the Panacea.
Yeah.
Just to make you guys worry about me.
That's good. That keeps you out of the points running. That keeps you out of the points running. That's good. You go ahead and miss that St. Augustine one.
Well, my car broke down in Steinhatchee, so I didn't pre-fish at all. I went out there cold.
You better make it up to Panacea.
I beg your pardon?
I said you better make it up to Panacea.
Yeah, I love to. That is like my weakest area. I don't know. I said, jokingly, I'm praying that they'll leave the boundary back down to Steinhatchee so I can fish south. If I don't catch fish, it's a lot closer to Tampa than, St. Mark's.
Yeah.
Don't count on it.
Yeah, it'll be the 30-mile, just like the other one, just like Jacksonville, and just like.
I think it'll be from the Osceola River to Apalachicola somewhere.
Somewhere in there.
And that is so foreign to me. I wish y'all would come further south. I wish y'all would try to fish Tampa Bay.
We're not going to Tampa Bay.
So we spoke with Chris last podcast, and he was talking about switching it up with his wife every season. So maybe there's gonna be further or less boundaries, and maybe there's gonna be new locations, and that's another exciting part.
Right.
I agree. That would be so cool. Tampa Bay is probably the hardest fished redfish fishery, I think, in the state of Florida.
Absolutely.
present.
is gin clear water.
Mhm.
And a lot of bait throwers. So if you can catch a really good redfish, not just one but two in Tampa Bay, you can catch redfish anywhere.
Mhm.
Right. And same with last time I thought we spoke on the previous podcast, it was we were talking about the lagoon, Mosquito Lagoon.
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to see one there.
That would be another cool place to go. That place is really rebounding at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of great fish are being caught out of there, and maybe
That-
we can make this a true Florida redfish series.
I'd like to see that from like
Yeah.
Daytona down south to like Vero or something down there.
all the
Yeah.
way.
That
all
was-
the way down.
The IFA, that's one of the cool things. On the IFA, you could fish anywhere on the coast.
Yep.
Like if they were fishing the East Coast or the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, you could fish anywhere on the East Coast of Florida. The downside is you had kind of like you had to be back for weigh-in at a certain time.
There's a cutoff. Yeah.
Right.
So that you figure your fish time, your drive time. I know Derek Engel lost a couple tournaments only because he made it like 10 minutes late because of traffic or something.
Yep.
But
Derek would go from Steenhatchee to South Tampa and fish the IFA and then come back up to weigh in Steenhatchee.
well, also the boat tournament was on Saturday and the kayak tournament was on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yes.
So, and God bless that man. He's an amazing angler. Let me say that to begin with. And his father is truly an amazing angler too. But he knows somebody, every 15 miles from North Carolina all the way around Florida, back up through the Panhandle into Louisiana, into Texas. He knows somebody every 15 miles, and that's an asset.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, he was definitely always on the leaderboard when it came
Yeah.
to IFA.
He's
Very
an
good
amazing
angler.
angler.
Yeah, I tell you, if Andrew makes it down to Jacksonville, he's got some history there too.
Yeah.
Andrew
Yeah.
Hine. Yeah, he's a stick. It's similar water to what he fishes up in North Carolina. That same kind of tidal flow and different things there. Yeah, he'll be a contender, I think, if he makes it down there.
It's gonna be a tough area.
It's gonna be a grind, I think, but especially with that much water movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be
Pick
crazy.
your spot.
I just, pray to catch two fish.
Yep,
You
two
know,
fish is fine. Yeah.
I know that's like, please God, let me catch two fish. Let them be legal.
Slot fish, not overs like I did.
Exactly. Or
I had
under.
overs in Panacea. Overs and trout out the yin yang,
That's me. I set a goal, catch 225 fish, and just try to get them points.
Yep.
I don't want to lose to Brian.
Oh yeah.
My
Don't lose it.
goal, like I said, is God, please don't let me be the girl that doesn't catch any fish. My goal is at least one fish.
At least one, right? Right.
Exactly.
Yep. No
But
doubt.
anyhow, how long have y'all been fishing?
Kayak fishing for 14 years myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I started kayak fishing when I was about, should I sell my age?
Yeah.
Okay. I started kayak fishing when I was about 60 years old. Dun, 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 dun. I was a mortgage banker for 38 years, and I started kayak fishing with artificials for stress release.
Huh.
And my first tournament, I only entered because somebody told me girls can't fish.
Oh,
What?
there you go.
And I got second.
Pam, I started fishing against you in the IFA it was probably 6 or 7 years ago when the IFA was going.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I enjoyed that tournament a lot. That series. It was a lot of fun.
That's why we started the fishing team is me and another guy, Billy. We would go fish the IFA and we absolutely sucked.
Okay, that is, people ask me, when I get interviewed, I do a lot of podcasts, and people ask me, what's the hindrance? What's the tough thing about being a girl angler? it's kind of an irritating question to me, because my question to you is, what's tough about being a guy angler? But there's a couple things. One, how many ladies are on the circuit? Which means I have no team, especially coming from Tampa, and the circuit kind of is a North Florida circuit, but I don't have a team like y'all do. I fish almost all the time by myself. One, I didn't grow up fishing with the good old boys.
Come on now. You don't get a little guided trips every once in a while, though?
You're not allowed anymore. But think about it. So there's a big advantage to being team fishing, a super big advantage.
And there is. That's why we created the group, is so we could pre-fish together. And if one of your buddies couldn't make it, the other one can make it, and you could still go, get some fishing in or just whatnot. Just help each other out.
Yep.
If you need an extra drive for your kayak, they're there to help.
Yeah,
Somebody there.
People think that it's we're telling each other our spots and stuff. It's not anything about that. We're all in it for the competition at the end of the day. So,
Y'all want to
me
win.
and George and the rest of our crew, we're not saying, hey, this is what I caught here at this point,
Right.
at this tide. It's not like that. It's not super secretive. Like, we'll say where we launched and how many fish we caught.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm telling George.
You're not dropping a pin
I
for
would
him.
never tell this guy where I caught the redfish at.
Not dropping a pin for you.
No, especially he's second angler of the year. I'm first angler of the year. I would never tell him.
Yeah.
But it's more about the camaraderie and us linking up at the same location. We can all hang out. We can say what we caught that week, and it's more about just a couple of fishermen getting together. If that makes sense.
Exactly. Plus, it's little things like, for some reason, you're having a hard time getting your yak back on its wheels. You got a second person there that can help you with that. No, I get all that. And I think it's awesome. So I'm talking to all the dads out there that fish. If you have a daughter, take her fishing. 9 times out of 10, she will learn to fish faster than your son will, because women are like more neurotic about stuff like that. Why the guys are like, oh, a little bit more ADD.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, take a girl fishing.
You got to add an ADHD. Yeah.
Oh, my
Okay.
daughter.
I'm dyslexic. I get all that wrong.
My daughter fishes with me.
All right.
She goes sailing with me. We go on the boat.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Last time I fished with him and his daughter, she outfished both of us. So
Dang, put the spank
That's
down.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Brian, what you sipping on?
I got a Colorado Kool-Aid, otherwise known as the old
Coors Light. Oh,
Not
dang.
sponsored. I would love to
The
be.
silver bullet.
Gray Goose.
There you go. There you go.
That's too happy for me. Even
But no, I hope everybody that's on still. I know this is on a couple different platforms. It's on the Paddle and Fin page, on my Chasing the Tide page. It's on the YouTube. It's on my personal page. Wherever you're watching, we thank everybody for tuning in, and interacting and everything, adding comments, all that good stuff. And I thank all three of y'all for coming on. It's always good to have these things. Like I said, all them other podcasts are covering all these bass events, and I got a platform. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cover the saltwater events and get us some exposure too. So at this point in time, we'll start with Brian. If you want to thank anybody, sponsors, partners, wife, family, friends, anything, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I would love to thank, first and foremost, Florida Fishing Products. Secondly, our fishing team. They make everything so much more enjoyable at every event. And thanks to all the guys that are on that fishing team as well. Thank you for my wife, let me do the things that she doesn't want me to do, taking time away from her, but she doesn't hate the paychecks, and
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing. Other than that, man, just like to thank FRS for this entire series. It's an
Absolutely.
amazing thing. A lot of anglers from all over the country and now international, because we have a Canadian guy.
yeah, yep.
and it's a really cool thing to bring people together, and everybody can enjoy themselves doing the things that they love. So
Yep. No doubt. George, GQ himself.
I want to really just thank my family. I got a small family, and being able to go do it, make sure they have things on lockdown at the house, make sure all the dogs are fed and all that good stuff. And North Florida Aquatic Ventures, our own teammate Scott, he helps with the jerseys. He keeps us in line too, and just really want to thank the team, man. Everybody helps out in their own little certain way. I don't know what Billy does, but he does something.
All right, who's Billy? I got to meet him in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you got to meet Billy.
All right,
Christie.
Billy, I'm coming for you in Jacksonville, Billy.
Yeah, you got to meet him. And just we've had a couple sponsors throughout the thing. Harry Smith Outdoors. He was one of our first sponsors doing kayak tours and stuff here in Tallahassee, and he believed in the team when we first started it. And he's still on our jerseys too, and just Chris and Kelly and the whole FRS team, they do a real good job of this. Making sure everybody's in line and just follow the rules. You won't have a problem. You won't have to talk to them that much.
Hey,
So
and that's a big thing. Follow the rules. One more thing to add to him, I want to shout out Cardinal Rose Charters. It's a really good local charter where we live, and he puts you on the fish, man. So if anybody's listening is in the area, go ahead and check them out, along with North Florida Aquatic Adventures, and they'll put you on some fish, man.
Cool deal. Pam?
Dustin, I want to thank you for inviting me on to this. I really appreciate it. That's very sweet of you.
No problem.
And most of all, the man I have been with for 45 years, my husband, Dave Wirth, retired sports anchor. The guy rocks. I've been with Native, Daiwa, Fish Monkey. Oh my gosh, if I didn't have their wool gloves on last weekend, I would have froze my hands off.
Yep.
Yeah, Owner's Hooks. Everything is Owner's Hooks with me. That they do not give up. Today, all my fish were on Owner's Hooks. And just, Tampa Fishing Outfitters, probably the biggest little privately owned tackle store on the west coast of Florida. Come check us out.
Cool deal. Yeah. And just like everybody said, thanks to Chris and Kelly, all the crew at FRS, Dave down there in the Keys,
Yeah,
down there judging
does Dave
fish.
not have the worst
Dave
job in the
Nauman.
whole world? Oh, I would not want Dave's job. God bless that
I don't
man.
want it. I don't
He has
want it.
called all of us each tournament. You can hear people's phones ringing in the marsh.
Oh, yeah.
when Dave's calling them.
God bless him.
Yep.
Good
Solid job,
Dave.
brother. Is yeah. Yeah, judging fish is fun. Yes. Judge fish, they say. Yes, it's fun. Yes.
When you're doing it from the Keys, I don't think it's that bad.
Probably not that bad. He's probably sitting at a bar drinking a freaking pina colada or something,
Yeah.
Yeah. We had the pleasure of he ate dinner with us at that little Mexican joint Panacea last year. I think we partook in quite a few of them margaritas. They make a pretty good one there. So yeah. I'm hoping I get to make it back to that one. We're gonna see.
We went down and visited Dave last year, and stayed in the Keys and fished with him for 2 days.
Nice.
So it was a good time.
David, congratulations to the winners. Great show. Looking forward to the next one. Cool. Yeah, we'll have a recap after Jacksonville for sure. That's going to be a fun one. Maybe I can hit.
Hopefully we're on it again.
Hopefully we're on it again. Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll be on it no matter what.
Amen. We'll be tuning
I
in.
appreciate you. Thank you, Dustin.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I might have to get one of them jerseys, an honorary Big Bender coming. I'm coming from the west side, so maybe I'll just cruise on through.
We'll get you one made, man. We'll get you one. Get your name on the back of it.
There you go. Nah, fellas and Miss Pam, we appreciate y'all coming on. Y'all taking the time out this evening. So thank y'all. Thank everybody that tuned in. We'll recap Jacksonville after that event. So, check y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you so much.
All
right. Let me kill this
Bye,
screen.
man.